Have you been looking for a way to preserve your Easy Elegance roses for year-long enjoyment? Well, today I'm going to show you how to make home decor and jewelry using your beautiful roses. I'm Ryan from Easy Elegance Roses, and welcome to a very special DIY episode of Garden Gab. Like any DIY project, there are some things that we need to gather beforehand so you can start creating. But it's important to note that there are quite a few different methods and ways that you can preserve plants in resin, so keep that in mind when we're gathering materials at home. Today, I'm going to use pressed rose blooms and petals to make a tray that can be used as home decor, like a vase coaster or display piece in a bookshelf. Here are the materials that I'm using today. Clear Part A and Part B casting resin, silicone molds, mixing cups, popsicle sticks, tweezer, a heat gun, and of course, protective equipment. And this one is really important, especially if you're indoors. You always want to make sure that you have the proper protective equipment when working with resin. You'll need gloves, safety goggles, and a respirator or mask. Also, make sure that you do this in a well-ventilated area, again if you're inside, or if you're like us, outside if you can. And last, but certainly not least, your pressed roses. It's really important to make sure that the roses you're using are dried. And I find that it's easiest to use roses that I've pressed because pressing roses also dries them out. If you need to learn how, we've put a link to our video on how to press rose blooms and petals in the description below. Okay, now that we have everything set, let's get started. First, I'm going to mix the resin together. Like I said earlier, it's super important that you wear the proper protective equipment when working with resin, so get those gloves, goggles, and masks on. I'm using Part A, Part B casting resin. Make sure that you follow the directions on the resin that you have to ensure that you're mixing the correct amount together at home. Once both parts are poured in, mix it slowly around for 3 minutes using a popsicle stick. And once that resin is mixed, you can start creating. To start, pour a bit of the resin at the bottom of the mold, and then use your heat gun to pop any of the bubbles that arise in that resin. When using the heat gun, just make sure to keep it about 2 inches above, and once all the bubbles are gone, you can start gently placing the flowers. I also like to have a tweezers handy to help me place the flowers exactly where I want them to go. Once that design is complete, use the heat gun again to clear out any bubbles that might have popped up. Then you're going to add another layer of resin to fill to the top of the mold, and again, pull out that heat gun in case any bubbles popped up in that last step. Now the resin needs to sit for at least 24 hours to cure, so I'm going to put this in a safe place and check back in on them in a day. Now, tray isn't the only thing that you can do. You can do earrings or other jewelry as well. You're going to follow the same steps, and as you go through this process, the more and more you do it, the easier it gets, and it's so fun. Just remember, as you're doing the design, do it at your own pace and with your creativity and have some fun with it. And there you have it. Whether you preserve your Easy Elegance roses to display in your home, as a piece of jewelry to wear, or in something like a paperweight for your home office, the possibilities are endless. So have fun, get creative, and make sure to tag Easy Elegance Roses on social so we can see what you've come up with. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe for more tips and DIY fun with Easy Elegance Roses, and we'll see you next time on Garden Gab.